Alright, time to start filming the December pickups, and I gotta split this into two videos because I got so much shit to unbox. So, to kick things off, we're gonna do my two ThunderCats pickups for this month, all by themselves, because I don't know what it is, G.I. Joe, ThunderCats, having specialized videos just for their unboxings, more or less, even though I wasn't really that into them in the 80s. Well, I loved the G.I. Joe toys when I was a kid, but I really didn't remember much of the mythology while growing up in ThunderCats. I explained in another video, the amount of episodes I saw as a kid, could count them all on one hand. But finally starting to get into it. I've hit the 50% mark at this point, and I'm liking it. I'm really liking the characters. I've already got some of the Super 7 stuff I've shown previously. We got Lino. Stand up. Got Chitara, just with the still weird hips and just overall just kind of plain Jane as far as action figures go, but whatever. And we got Vulture Man, really great sculpt, even if he is too big. And now we're going to add a couple more villains to the mix. We got Slithe, and we got Mumm-Ra. These, from their respective waves, they're probably the best of their respective waves. Super 7, as I've learned, I was kind of impressed with them at first, but as I've learned more and listened to other criticisms, they do have their issues. But even one particular person who I started watching, Leo Convoy, he's really hard on Super 7, but he said that of all the ones in waves 2 and 3, Mumm-Ra and Slithe have the least issues, which is good, because I really like these characters and I want to get them on my shelf, so here we go. Oop. I don't think I'm going to be getting all the core casts, the heroes and villains on the... Whoops. Oh well. On the shelves, but then again, I thought I'd only have a handful of Sailor Senshi, and now I got pretty much all of them except Chibiusa, Tuxedo Kim, and Sailor Saturn and Sailor Venus, so we'll see. But, well, Bandai, SH Figuarts, and Max Factory Figmas, their quality's usually top-notch. Super 7, well, they're Super 7. They're kind of in a class all their own, for better or for worse. Alright. Let's get Slithe out of there. Man, because he is a big, chunky figure. Sturdy. Maybe I should look from the bottom, because... Damn, that tail's probably... Yeah, the tail was probably... Or not, those arms are in... It's the arms that are in real tight. God damn. Alright, he's out. Put the alternate head sculpt and the other stuff aside for a time. Let's look at the figure itself. Well, I can see why this is one of the best Super 7 ThunderCats figures, according to both the fans and detractors alike, because got a little bit of a paint scuff there. I did pick these up personally. I did not buy these online. I waited so I could inspect them personally, but it looks like we got a little mistake there that I didn't... Oh, we can pull that up to cover it up, never mind. Anyway, good articulation for the head or the faceless or whatever. Move all around. Can go almost 90 degrees going that way, but good rotation on the shoulders at least. Okay, no double-jointed elbows and knees. That's... If I could change anything about Super 7 stuff, it'd be that. It's like, why do they refuse to do that? Okay, wrists, go 360, up and down hinge. Not bad. Might need to warm up the left arm. Good movement on the hips. Again, no double-jointed knees. We got ankle rotation. Feet go up and down. Not much articulation of the tail, but what can you do? So yeah, a lot of good detail. I mean, the scales, you got, like, right here, on his headgear, you got some detail, just like worn metal, like torn straps of leather. Not really much of a wash on the loincloth. But you do get a bit of a wash here and there. In some parts of his chest. In the paint job, we got the scales and the toe claws. Got a different color. Spots. It's been pointed out that he's not entirely accurate when it comes to the color, going by the animation cells, but what can you do? It's a minor gripe when you got a figure that detailed. Let's have a look. Okay, we do have this alternate face sculpt, but I'm gonna leave that there for now. And we got alternate hands, we got a mace, and a version of the toy axe that the original LJN release came with, and the more show-accurate axe. That's what I want to put him with, and come on. Alright. Alright, don't have to mess with that much. He looks good. Maybe a bit too big. All the villains seem to be a bit too big in this line. That was also a complaint about Jackalman back from Wave 1. Much too tall compared to Lion-O. That is a strike against Super 7, but then again, they're Super 7. They march to the beat of their own drum. It's like, whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna enjoy having Slithe on the shelf along with Vulture Man. Just a big, solid figure, all-around good sculpt, a lot of detail, minor problems with the coloring, and my copy has like a scuff there hidden by the belt, but all in all, yeah, I'm satisfied. I'm glad I picked him up. So now we move on to Mumm-Ra, the ever-living, and I shouldn't do that. I can't roll R's worth of shit. So move all them aside. I can't really do that without Slithe feeling Chitara's ass. I mean, bad enough you have that, what was it, the Wildstorm comic continuation that implied that she was sexually assaulted by the mutants, like, ew. Oh. Come on. Okay, we'll just leave the Chitara and Lion-O off for now, since we're adding to the ranks of the villains. So here we go. Mumm-Ra, the ever-living. Cut there. Oh, and I forgot to show off the artwork. I can't really show... Okay, there's a good angle. Not much in the terms of a bio, but the artwork is pretty good. Let's bring up Slithe, since I forgot to show his off. Yes, very nice, very nice. And it talks about how he was once a cook in the ranks of the mutant armies, but worked his way up. Yeah, Slithe is an interesting character. He's so slimy and evil, so full of sass, and he's a bit smarter than the dunces like Munkin and Jackalman, but he's definitely got a wiliness about him, very crafty. Definitely can see why he's the leader as opposed to those two. Alright, we got his soft goods cape here. I mean, I really don't have much room to work with. I gotta get a better... Alright, is there any twist ties I gotta undo? No? Good. So here he is, another big chunky figure. Oh wait, we do have a little thing here we gotta snip. In fact, a lot of things we gotta snap. Hang on, I'm gonna pause while I deal with that. Well, we got Mumm-Ra out of a package, and that was a whole thing. Attaching the soft goods capes, there's pegs on the wrist that you gotta remove, and this like little knob on the back that doesn't really fit through the hole provided, but we got it on. Also swapped out one of the hands so we can hold the Sword of Plundar, and swapped out the head sculpt. Here's the one he came with. I'm seeing flaws with these. Neither ones have the snakes on the head proportional. On this one, this is kind of not right. This one's a bit better. And as I mentioned before, many people have pointed out like the color discrepancies compared to how they're supposed to look, especially in regards to original animation cells. With Slithe, it's negligible, but here it's definitely an issue because we got a deep cyan blue, like Mega Man blue, where in the TV show it's supposed to be more of a pale turquoise, so that's some points off right there. As for defects that people keep complaining about with Super 7, I haven't really noticed anything. Well, there's a little little blotch right there, a scuff right there. See if it'll show up. Yeah. But nothing too major. There was a slight boo-boo with the handle for the Sword of Plundar, but... Oh, I didn't even get this to tab in all the way. Okay, there we go. But when he's holding it, you can't really see it. Anyway, look at him. We got some good detail. Not much in the terms of washes, but we got some texture on his shin guards or whatever they are. No wash for like the fur pieces on his feet. But he looks the way he's supposed to. Otherwise, other than the color again, he's got the bandages, the deep blood red eyes. Okay, the snakes on his helmet, they're not perfectly symmetrical, so that's an issue. And as for articulation, not much in the way of head articulation because it's kind of just on a ball peg, so that's also points off. But he does have a lot of decent, or not. I try to move the arms and that peg comes right out. Good thing I'm really not going to try to get him to any dramatic poses. He's basically going to be hanging on the back of the shelf. There's other villains like my Decepticons and Queen Chrysalis, all the other cartoon villains. So yeah, other than the arm. Another thing, this one, where Slithe felt he was a bit too tight, the joints here feel a bit too loose. Well, the knees don't feel too loose, but the hips sure do. And the waist swivel up and down feels a bit loose. Okay, of all the Super 7 figures I got, out of the box, this is the one I have the most issues with. I can see why some were highly critical of him. Like, the color is a big deal, the wrong shade of blue, but just doesn't feel like quality, like solid as Slithe did just a few moments ago. But what can you do? I needed Mumm-Ra. I wanted the towering, ever-living Mumm-Ra. And I just needed more villains on my shelf in general. And hey, I already had Vultureman, so I had to have Slithe and Mumm-Ra. So, anyway, let's go over the rest of it. It comes with Mom Mutt. Along with that and Sword of Plundar. I'm not really privy to that. Like I said, I'm only halfway through OG ThunderCats. I'm at the 50% mark, but okay. Mumm-Ra can kind of move his arms and legs. Does the tail move? No. He can rotate the head. But that's about it. The collar can move around a bit. And unlike his boss, he's got some wash, some detail that Mumm-Ra is lacking. I'm not sure if the colors are good for him, though. I've heard they're not, but whatever. Mumm-Ra also came with opened clawing hands, and I already swapped out this one, this fisted hand, so he could hold the Sword of Plundar, and he's also got another hand for holding. And again, I've only hit the 50% mark at ThunderCats. I'm not really sure if this has come up yet. And again, here's his head sculpty that came attached right out of the box. So my thoughts? Well, like I said, the more I hold Mumm-Ra, the more issues I find with him. That's a bit of a downer, because when it comes to 80s villains, he does love to chew the scenery. He does make his presence known. So Slithe, for the villain so far, I like him the best. And he might be the best ThunderCats Super 7 figure so far overall. So now let's try to get all of them back on here. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all the main cast of heroes and villains. I don't know if I'm going to have the space or the money. Well, there won't be much issue making room for Snarf, but $55, I'm sorry, that's just no. But, I don't know, they are going to reissue Wily Kit and Wily Cat eventually. And will I add Jackalman and Monkey in? I'm not sure. These three are the villains that I found most interesting on the show, and I suppose I can add Panther. I know a few places around here that got them, so I can inspect personally before I buy, because that turned out to be an issue. Because again, Slithe has a little paint flub covered up by his belt, and Mumm-Ra has some blotches here and there, and his snakes on his helmet are asymmetrical. But all in all, despite Super7's reputation and the issues they're having with their ThunderCats figures, I'm more or less happy with Mumm-Ra and Slithe. Less so with Mumm-Ra, though, because again, the more I mess around with them, the more issues I find, but what can you do? It is what it is.